Hi there, Stampers. Welcome. This is Lisa with Queen Bee Creations, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I go live right here on YouTube and on my Facebook page every Monday and Thursday at 2:30 to show you guys something fun. And today we're making this pocket fold card using the Simply Zinnias bundle, and that bundle is an online exclusive. Remember, as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, everything I use can be purchased in my online store, and occasionally I like to use things that are online exclusive, and what that means is those are items that are never going to be featured in any of our catalogs. So as exciting as it is to get one of the catalogs, and I do love them, they're fabulous idea books, they don't have everything in them. And we're going to be getting some new stuff coming out next month. So in July, we will get a whole influx of some holiday stuff that's kind of a preview of what's going to be in our holiday catalog that won't come out until September. So you get to celebrate Christmas in July by shopping online exclusives, which you wouldn't know about unless you went to the website and you looked, or you watched one of these lives and watched me work with something. So as I said, I'm going to move you down to my desk and I'll show you this bundle we're working with. It is called the Simply Zinnia, and it has a red rubber stamp set as well as a set of dies. Now these dies will cut out the flowers after they're stamped, but they will also cut out individual flowers that we're going to be using. And I'm going to be using these two together. On my example, I used two different colors. Today I'm going to use one color for both layers, and if you wanted to, you can even add this as a third layer to each of the flowers. And that's just the petals. Then you have the center, and you have the accent piece. You have the greenery. There's a whole bunch of things you can do with this bundle, and I just love it. I've worked with it quite a bit. This pocket card, as I said, is called a front pocket because that's what it has. It has an actual pocket that you can put things into on the front of the card. So it looks similar to a arrow fold card, which we have done several times, but the arrow fold doesn't have the pocket. So this one's unique to the pocket. Hi, Janet says she's catching us live for the first time. That's awesome. By watching live, you have the chance of winning today's card because I'm going to be mailing it to someone who enters hashtag prize patrol. As you can see across the bottom of the screen right there, it's all run together as one word with the hashtag in the front. It has to be exactly like that because the computer's kind of picky about how it picks it up. So if there's any typos, it's not going to catch it. So make sure you get in hashtag prize patrol, and that's going to get you the finished card. If you wanted to work along with me and you wanted pieces to one of the card I'm making, then you want to place an order with me. By placing an order in my online store, you not only earn your royalty rewards, the PDF of the month, but you also get a packet of materials for making one of the cards. So you would get a packet like this, and it would have all the pieces needed to put this card together. So I went ahead and already did the die cutting. So there was quite a bit of that done ahead of time. Figured you didn't want to watch me crank the whole time. And then I've got my pieces of cardstock. I have a piece of Berry Burst that is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have two pieces of basic white that are 4 inches by 5 1/4, one for the inside and then one for inside the pocket. So there's two. And then I have a piece that is 3.5 by 3.5. And I'm going to show you how we're going to cut these. The first thing we want to do is we want to come down on the side on this one here, and we're going to make a mark in the trimmer. I'm going to come down 2 3/4 inch. And I do it in the trimmer because I like to be able to know that I'm even on either side. Okay, so I'm coming up 2 3/4 from the bottom on the front. I'm going to make a little bit of a tick mark on either side. And then I'm going to find the middle down here. And this is going to be at 2 3/4 as well. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to score between the side tick mark and the bottom tick mark. So I'm going to lie them both in the tray, in the track of the trimmer here. And then I'm going to use the scoring tool to score between those two. Okay, then I'm going to turn it and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm lining up that tick mark and this tick mark in the track of the trimmer. Then I'm going to score between the two. On the arrow fold card, we would also fold up to the top, but we're not going to do that on this one because this is just the pocket. So I'm kind of trying to watch for questions. If I miss your question, I apologize. Please type it in again. I try to look over there and watch every so often. I don't have someone who watches comments for me, so I'm kind of on my own there. So please give me a little grace on that. Okay, so now I'm folding up the two sides and making them meet in the middle. And I'm being careful to make sure that they're flush on the top and then coming down to the point. And it's showing me that I didn't score exactly the same. So I'm going to push from the middle out and from the top down. And that's going to push me into the score line that I want. Okay. So it's making an almost perfect point up here at the top. Okay, and I just did that by folding up the two corners. Now, in order to get the white that's going to tuck back down in there, we're going to need to do something similar, but we're going to cut this time. So I'm going to come over 1 1/4, and I'm going to make a tick mark. And then I'm going to find the middle. And because this is 5 1/4, half of 5 is 2 1/2. And then I want to split the difference in this extra 1/4 inch. So it's going to give me 2 5/8. And I'm going to mark that. And this time I'm cutting between those two. And then we can come in and erase these little pencil marks, or you can just put them to the back side. Works both ways. But that's going to tuck right in here. And those measurements are going to make sure that I get my border on all 3 sides of the top. Okay. Then for the designer series paper, what I'm going to want to do is take this 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 square, and I'm going to lay it in the trimmer. Now I'm going to run into points at either end. So avoid running into the points and smashing them. I'm going to drop my blade in the middle and cut up and then cut down. So that's going to give me 2 triangles. I'm going to take one of those triangles and I'm going to lay them in the trimmer with the point exactly in the track. And then I'm going to cut up, and then I'm going to have 2 more. So that's going to be the designer series paper for the front of my card. So this piece here, my larger triangle, that's going to fit right across the middle. And it's going to hold this together. Okay. So that's what created our pocket. Everybody follow me so far? Hi, Carrie. Haven't seen you on in a little while. How's the house building coming along? This is about the stage I'd be getting really anxious. We built a house in California when we lived out there because that's where I was born and raised. And so we moved from the Petaluma, like the Bay Area, up to Lincoln, which was kind of northwest of Sacramento. It's very hot up there. And we built this house and my mom moved in with us, but then she decided she didn't like that area. And that's when we moved to New Mexico because we couldn't afford to stay in California. It was way too expensive. Okay, so I've got 2 flowers. These are the 2 different ones. And what I'm going to do is put a glue dot in there behind this one, and then I'm going to overlap them. Like that. And then what we can do is we can also overlap it with this one, and that would make them more solid. So you can choose if you want the solid backing on it or if you want to do it without. It's pretty both ways. And then I also die cut some yellow centers, and on those I put the adhesive sheet. I absolutely love adhesive sheets. They are something that you would peel off the backing on one side, apply it to your cardstock, then do your die cutting, and then it makes these stickers. So now I can come in and just peel this backing, and it's going to be self-adhesive. How cool is that, right? Usually I can grab these a little easier. I think this one went a little tighter because it's got all that embossing on the front. Then that's going to go right there. And I have not really decided if there is an actual like pattern to how this fits the die cut flowers. It absolutely has a pattern that it's going to fit the stamped option. Because when you're stamping, you'll see that there's this kind of bigger petal right here or a bigger indent. So it would be really easy to figure out where this goes to make that fit exactly. But with these pieces, I don't know that it matters. I always look for things to line up exactly because I want them to, because of mathematical. But artists tend to like them to not line up. Oh, I bet you are ready to move. Yep. Once the decision is made, I'm ready to go. I don't like the waiting process. I'm not very patient that way. What I'm using here is the Take Your Pick tool, and this thing is super handy. I use it for all kinds of things. You may have noticed it had this kind of spatula end to it over here, and then it's got this pointy end to it, and then it's got a gum ending, and this is great for picking up embellishments. And then there's also a die brush you can get to it. There's a perforated blade where you can make things a tear-off ticket. There's all kinds of fun little attachments you can get for that as well. I have 2 of them. I have one here that's like this, and I have one with the die brush over by my die cutting machine. You just have to be really careful when you're rolling that die brush not to get the bristles stuck into the die. If you're using kind of a detailed die, you don't want the bristles stuck in there, because if you get them stuck and then you pull, it will yank one of them out of the brush. And then once one is gone, they all start to go. So just be careful with that. It comes with a foam insert that I put in a stamp case. And when I roll on that, it makes it a little easier because the foam will kind of grab those little tiny pieces. Okay, somehow I'm one short. No. Okay. So you can imagine how much time this would have taken if I would have tried to die cut them all on camera. So you see why I did them a little ahead of time. And I'm using glue dots just because they're a quick and easy option for putting these things together. They're an instant dry and easy to pick up. But of course, any number of our adhesives would work. Come on. Then I die cut the leaves out of Granny Apple Green. My flowers this time around are all Blackberry Bliss. On this one, they're a mix of Blackberry Bliss and Berry Burst. And then we have the Daffodil Delight centers. And then I die cut the leaves and then the little veins that will go onto the leaves. So these definitely have the sticky on the back. If you had forgotten to use the sticky like I do sometimes, then My Sweet Petunia glue press gives the teeniest, tiniest little dots of glue. And so this might be a good option for gluing those because it's got a really tiny pinpoint and it comes with an empty bottle that you can fill with Tombow glue. Okay, when I adhere these on, I am lining up this little curvature right here with the curvature down there. Oh, and that's on my website. If you look on my website on the home page is a button that says non-Stampin' Up! Products I recommend. It will take you to a page that will link to this and the Misty and magnets and all those sorts of things. Thank you, Ginger, for reminding everybody to give the thumbs up. That's definitely helpful. Anytime you comment or share or like, it helps me in the algorithm to get seen more. Okay, so I've got all those little pieces together. So I've got 5 flowers and 3 leaves. You'll notice I'm working in odd numbers. There's something artistic about working in odd numbers that's supposed to be a good thing. It's supposed to be more pleasing to the eye. Let's see, this one goes that side. All right, so there we go. There is that part. Now we're ready to start sticking on our flowers. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 of them in the back, like in the pocket. So I'm going to start on one side, then do the other side, and then I can do the one in the middle. And by doing it that way, then I know that I'm centering them correctly. And then I'm going to center these underneath. I'm going in between 2 flowers. Oops. Then I've got our leaves that we can take and tuck in underneath. We can just kind of play around with it and decide where we want them to be. I think I kind of like that. So I'm tucking it under the flower, but not in the pocket, so that my pocket still opens. Okay. So now, oh, and I should have stamped before adhering. I just realized I had stamped on the inside. It's always my advice that you would stamp before adhering. In case you make a boo-boo, you can flip it over and stamp on the other side. So I'm going to hold my breath. Hope this works. My shoulder. Well, I had shoulder surgery April 3rd, and it was a little more work than they thought it was going to be. It was more damage than they had anticipated. And I've been going to physical therapy. They made me wait 6 weeks before I could do physical therapy because of that. And then I've been going now probably about 6 weeks. And it's stiff. My muscles are angry at me and not coming back the way that we would like them to. He said everybody heals at a different rate, yada, yada, yada. But I'm happy to be working desk level. I can do everything with my stamping and computer work, but I have trouble like putting on a t-shirt or washing my hair with both hands because I can't lift this shoulder all the way up. But I'm trying to be patient. But thank you for asking. I appreciate that. So that is our card for today. I do have the card we're going to be doing on Monday. Monday, we're going to play around with the Layers of Beauty stamp set. And last time we did that, we used the masks and did coloring. This time we're going to stamp and we're going to watercolor. So I made this card by stamping in Versamark using basic white powder and then heat embossing it and then coloring in with the watercolors using the water painter and ink pads. So this will be Monday. Or sorry, this will be Thursday. So come back on Thursday to see how we do that one. Yes, there are so many possibilities with this one. And sometimes I've just done a single focal point and not really put things inside the pocket because I wanted people to be able to let their gift card be the feature inside the pocket. Makes it a little more obvious. So, has everybody put in hashtag Prize Patrol? Yes, the watercoloring will be Thursday. I am like off my days. I apologize. We're doing the watercoloring on Thursday. Okay, I am going to go ahead and spin the wheel. Take that off, and I'm going to remove this and add this. And we're going to give this a spin. So there we go. There is our winner. Congratulations. You know the drill. You want to go over to my website, queenbeecreations.net, and then up there in the address bar after the .net, you're going to put /Prize Patrol, and that's going to direct you to a Google form where you will fill in where you would like this mailed to. It's kind of like my claim form, and tells me where to mail it. So congratulations. And make sure that you like this video and come back on Thursday for our watercoloring. Thank you so much. Bye.